ways that makes everything function really well. And you'll see that tonight. I mean, you have multiple Revolution players who are out on the field right now doing the introduction ceremony. They're not playing tonight, but Lauren Weaver, who we've seen on the screen, has been helping out with the English translation and has been on camera. And then I saw some other players from different teams also helping with ticketing. I see different players helping in the commentating booth and on social media. People have their phones out, tweeting the correct links. So it's a really impressive endeavor by not just Revolution, but the community here in Medellin and in Colombia as well. So I think right now they're spending some time giving some shout outs to some of the sponsors. Simon, do you have a list of the sponsors that we should be thanking and shouting out at this time?
The basic ultimate and basic spirit of the game, having the possibility to transform lives. And Scott's for doing so to construct other worlds.
Shina, yeah, we're being sponsored by Spin Ultimate and Discraft Ultimate today. Discraft will be the official game disc of the Planet Ultimate League. And Spin Ultimate will help with some appeal. Okay, they turn off the light of the field. And it starts right now. The match, the first match of the Planet Ultimate League.
Evelina Pierce, Julia Gregory, Amy Smith, Maddie Fry, Megan Lee,
Están pasando las publicidades.
Kate Cavallini, Katherine Yost, Sam Stovall, Gia Finnegan, Robin Fenig, Aaron Trader, Jamie Estes, and Janine Crawford.
De Revolution tenemos Alejandra Ospina, Alejandra María Torres, Estefanía Carvajal, Laura Arango, Elia Helton, Carolina Londoño, Manuela Cárdenas, Daniela Flores, Roxana González, María Rojas, Alejandra Elizabeth Mosquera, Valentina Santos, Dina Paola Cartagena, María Santos, Gabriela Jiménez, Valeria Cárdenas, Carolina Arcila, Jiménez Montaña, Valentina Gómez, María Angélica Porero y Mauricio Mur como entrenador.
Estamos en el estreno de la Liga Profesional Femenina.
Para finalizar, cuando fundamos el club, quizás no imaginábamos un talento.
Gracias a todos por estar aquí.
Y en memoria de las
Estamos bajo una tenue lluvia en la cancha Marte.
Y aportado a los jóvenes Revolution. Queremos agradecer por la persistencia de
Un saludo a todas las personas que están viendo esta transmisión. Revolution y Atlanta Soul ahora haciendo o teniendo unos detalles con toda la parcialidad asistente.
Internacional fortalecido y en crecimiento permanente, basado en la sororidad, en la ayuda mutua y el trabajo colectivo. Y que como antes, la revolución prevalezca frente al impuesto, a lo que nos dice que es de una determinada manera, que sigan siendo ahora la que les permita crear un último y plural y sin fronteras. No siendo más, muchas gracias a todas y todos y demos un fuerte aplauso a Atlanta Soul y Revolution. Y damos oficialmente por inaugurada la Premier League.
This live broadcast of the Premier Ultimate League is brought to you by Sport Ultimate.
Since 2007, visit Spin on the web at spinultimate.com. Continuamos entonces con esta transmisión y se acerca el PUL inicial. Le damos la palabra a Simón y a Sheena.
Como la mayoría sabe, el Ultimate Frisbee es un deporte basado en una filosofía denominada espíritu de juego. El espíritu de juego consta de honestidad, honor y de otros valores supremamente importantes que en la escuela de Columbia, en New Jersey, decidieron implementar unos chicos. En este momento se está haciendo el sorteo inicial. Alejandra Torres, número 1, capitana de Revolution, hace el sorteo. Como les decía, el espíritu de juego también afirma que el Ultimate debe ser autorregulado, que no debe haber una terceridad involucrándose en la toma de decisiones. Pero en este juego tendremos a unos personajes en camisa verde que estarán haciendo unas señales y estarán alrededor del campo de juego. Ellos se llaman Game Advisors. Ellos no tienen ninguna potestad para decidir la situación del disco ni el resultado de alguna jugada. Ellos solamente están para dar su opinión y para dar su perspectiva respecto a algunas jugadas. Alejandra Torres se abraza con Mary Frey, momento importantísimo para la historia del Ultimate, y estamos a pocos minutos del PUL inicial.
Hey, so what Simon was just talking about there was a little bit of information about how this game is going to be played. So as you'll notice, we do have 4 game advisors out on the field. So we will be using Premier Ultimate League rules, which are very similar to some of the rules that a lot of viewers here know in terms of WFDF as well as USA Ultimate. One of the main differences tonight is that we are going to be playing 4 12-minute quarters. So we're playing for time, not for points. So that's a very new thing both for viewers but also for the players, which will be very interesting. For the game advisors, just a reminder that it still means that all of the control of the game is in the hands of the players. They can still make calls, they can still communicate, they can still discuss calls, obviously, and they can always overrule a opinion of the game advisor if it's to their, not to their advantage. So that's something that's very significant, noteworthy to mention. It's really interesting. I think a lot of these players probably don't know all the rules exactly. It's a brand new league as of this year. Things are probably going to be a little shaky. People are going to have questions. Up here in the booth, we hope to have some answers for you. We won't always have all of the answers. One thing that we will be relying on is the players themselves, who will be using hand signals to help indicate, to each other on the field, to the fans, to us up here, as well as to the game advisors. So some of those hand signals will look very familiar to players who have played on WFDF, or who have played WFDF rules. So including hand signals for picks, for fouls, for contests and non-contests. For a full list of those hand signals and for a full list of the rules, please check out Premier Ultimate League on the website. That's where you'll find more information. So we've had both teams introduced here at the stadium. Looks like many of the players are just trying to get a couple more touches. One of the challenges here of playing in a showcase game is it maybe you warm up, an hour ago, and then you have 20 minutes where you're standing still. You're going through introductions. You're, flipping the disc to figure out who's on offense, who's on defense, things like that. And then you get cold. So we see these players are just starting to warm back up both their legs and their throws. If you have any questions at any point or any thoughts, please feel free to ask us anything on Twitter. My Twitter handle is Cheens, QXHNZ, and I'd be happy to answer any kind of questions there. Also, please be following along the Premier Ultimate League Twitter as well. And I'm pulling up their name right now. I'll get it in a second.
China nos estaba diciendo que podríamos seguirla. Si tienen alguna pregunta o quieren que resolvamos algo, pueden tuitear en el Twitter de ella, que es @QHN. H. Lo voy a repetir, perdón, es un poco complejo. Es Q, @Q, X, H, N, Z. Es el Twitter de China. Qué pena, un poco complejo estos nombres de nuestros amigos de Estados Unidos. Y también por @Premier Ultimate. Ese es el Twitter de la Premier Ultimate League, de la PUL. I want to make a shout out to VC Ultimate. They sponsored a very big campaign for a fundraising for the PUL, and they're the official sponsors of all PUL teams in the apparel.
Yeah, and this is actually the first time that I'll get to see these VC jerseys. I saw so many photos on social media of all the players receiving their jerseys. So it's really fun to see everybody get excited about receiving their jerseys, and now they have them on, right? Because it's game time. That feeling of putting on your jersey for the first time is one that, if you've had that experience before, you know how beautiful and important and emotional it is. And I can only imagine what these players are feeling tonight.
China nos decía que es la primera vez que las chicas están poniendo la camiseta que les dio VC Ultimate y debe ser muy emocionante. Para los que jugamos Ultimate es muy emocionante recibir un nuevo uniforme, representar al equipo con el que entrenamos y será un partido muy interesante. Muchas gracias de nuevo a VC Ultimate por patrocinar los equipos de la Premier Ultimate League. En este momento Revolution está en un círculo, Mauricio Moore en el centro, tiene unas letras grandes CO de coach, hablando a las chicas de Revo, probablemente dando unas indicaciones técnicas, tácticas. Shina, what do you expect specifically, tactically, about the game? Do you think it's going to be a quick Colombian game, or do you think it's going to be a more deep hawk game?
That's a really good question. I think what I expect to see from Revolution is exactly what you said. So very quick disc distribution from the handlers to the cutters, but back to the handlers. We'll see opportunities for very big throws. You can watch Gina Cartagena, Manuela Cárdenas, and Valeria Cárdenas. They are going to be throwing some deep hucks tonight. On the Seoul side, I would say I expect Atlanta to be methodical with their spacing. they'll likely look to isolate cutters downfield and then reset the disc when they need to, but they're probably going to be a little bit more cutter driven. They're going to keep their eyes downfield a little bit longer. Their average throw might be a little bit longer as well. They're probably going to have fewer throws, but they're going to be longer throws. And Revolution, on the other hand, will probably have more throws, but shorter distances. So it'll be two very different styles of play that we see tonight.
Sheena nos decía que de Revolution sí espera un juego rápido y unos grandes lanzamientos por parte de Gina Cartagena y de Valeria Cárdenas y de Manuela Cárdenas. Gina Cartagena está con el número 20, Valeria Cárdenas con el número 33 y Manuela Cárdenas con el número 8. Por parte del Atlanta Soul, considera que utilizarán un poco mejor sus espacios. Será un juego más al estilo americano. Y no serán tantos lanzamientos como los de Revolution, pero sí tendrán un poco más de distancia. Los Game Advisors acaban de dar su primer pitido. Al parecer Atlanta va a empezar en la defensa. Atlanta lanzará el primer pull. Revolution iniciará en la ofensa. Y bueno.
This live broadcast of the Premier Ultimate League is brought to you by Spin Ultimate. Spin Ultimate providing custom team uniforms and Ultimate apparel since 2007. Visit Spin on the web at spinultimate.com.
El tiempo de pool en la Premier Ultimate League se distribuye en 50 segundos para que la ofensa esté lista y con una mano levantada y 20 segundos para dar el extra.
En este momento en el campo están hablando cómo se distribuye el tiempo de pool. Serán 50 segundos. Y ahora iniciamos el primer pool de la liga profesional. De hecho, en este momento tengo piel de gallina. Es un momento muy importante. Gina Cartagena con el disco. Con Claire Chastain, jugadora de Molly Brown. She puts it up. Looking for Manuela. She got it. She scores for the goal. She scores for the goal. So, Sheena, we just saw Claire Chastain, an American player, playing with Revolution, put a big hug up to Manuela Cárdenas. They played before, right?
So Claire Chastain is playing with Revolution tonight, and she will be participating in the Premier Ultimate League with Revolution. She's not the only U.S. player that is playing with Revolution. Kayla Helton is another player. You'll see her out here tonight. I'm not sure what her jersey number is. Number 5, excellent. And then Calise Cardenas, excuse me. She will also be playing with them. Here we have another poll goes up, and now we have our first look at the Atlanta Soul offense. Robin Fenig. Beautiful throw, Travellini. And another massive huck looking for Schrader. She's got it, no problem. It looked a little interesting there for 1 second. Fenig didn't have many options. She was able to find Tressolini, and then a big shot to Aaron Schroeder.
Sheena, do you think we should check for any athletic player on the Seoul side, like a really good athletic player, let's say in Revolutions, Elizabeth Mosquera? Do they have like a good matchup to take there? You know anything?
I think expect Atlanta Soul to have different defenders trying different things, trying anything against Mosquera. One idea would be Robin Fenig. Quick turnover there for Revolution. And Seoul picks up the disc, and just like that, that's a break.
En el primer pase de la ofensa de Revolution hay una falta de comunicación entre María Paula Santos y Alejandra Torres. Atlanta Soul lo utiliza rápidamente y anota un rápido break que les da liderazgo en este momento en el partido. 2-1 en el partido inaugural de la Premier Ultimate League.
Got a great question from Twitter already, asking a little bit about the conditions. So for anyone who's traveled to Colombia before, and Medellin specifically, you might know that there's a lot of rain here sometimes. And sometimes it will start pouring actually, without much notice, and you just have to adapt. So we're just on the other end here of about a 30 to 45 minute bout of a torrential downpour. So you'll see on the fields they're definitely wet. They're very slick. What's nice though is that right now there's no wind. So after the rain, it's pretty calm. That's something that we'll keep an eye out and probably will change. Throughout the day, there has been some breeze on this field.
Sheena nos estaba diciendo respecto a las condiciones climáticas. En Colombia usualmente hay mucha lluvia en el mes de marzo y en el mes de abril. En este momento vemos la ofensa de Revolution salir. Alejandra Torres para Gina Cartagena. Busca a Claire Chastain. Un largo. It's going deep. Claire. Mapa. Oh! Close one. There's an active call on the plate. A foul call. Non-contested. Hay un llamado de falta. No es contestado. Es decir, es aceptado. La jugada reinicia con un chequeo por parte de la defensa. So Sheena, again, the same connection. Claire Chastain to Manuela Cardenas. They played Molly Brown together 2 years in a row on USA Nats, right? They've made a pretty good chemistry. That's how we call it here in Colombia with their playing, and I think that's a good connection we will see tonight and in the rest of the season of the women's
Yeah, women's. Still pronounced women's.
Okay, still pronounced women's season, pro season.
Absolutely. So the PUL is a great opportunity to see these two players play together and to see, players you might not necessarily always see playing together, playing against different players. What's so important about the development of sports is the development of these stories and the stories of players and the stories of teams. And as soon as there's more media dedicated to these stories, of the athletes, of the players, everything becomes more interesting. It's easier to follow, not just a team throughout the season, but a team throughout many years, and not just a player within a season, but a player within many years. Very big pull from Revolution, all the way out the back actually, and Seoul will get the disc at the brick mark.
Un gran pull de Revolution. La jugadora avanza y sale de la zona de gol a la marca de brick, debido a que cuando el pull cae fuera de la zona de gol o fuera del lateral, puede llamar break. Atlanta con movimientos rápidos, cerca de la zona de gol. Inside break. Mosquera con la defensa, Elizabeth Mosquera. Valeria hits it deep. That's a nice goal for Revolution. Mosquera with the D. Then Valeria gets it and she rips it out to Elizabeth Mosquera, one of the most athletic players from Revolution. Sorry.
It's exactly what we said at the very beginning of the broadcast. We expected to see Valeria Cardenas throwing very, very far, and it's really nice when you have a receiver like Mosquera, who's not just a fast receiver. I think she finds the right time to attack the end zone, and she's also very clear when she's cutting. So you're never left wondering what exactly she's doing on the field. You know, what space she's taking. She's always decisive with her cuts, and that makes a really big difference when you're a thrower trying to throw to a receiver, and you know exactly where they're going. Most of the time, it's the end zone for Mosquera.
Como decíamos al inicio del partido, una conexión muy típica en este equipo de Revolution. Valeria Cárdenas para Elizabeth Mosquera. Gina Cartagena con el pull. Cartagena with the pull. Goes up. A floaty pull. There's time to the defenders to get. Just the end zone. So we see like a junky zone from Revo. That was a good break. Goes up. That was a huge layout deep by Manuela Cárdenas. She's a great defensive player. Acabamos de ver una jugada, una volada increíble por parte de Manuela Cárdenas. Ella es una jugadora defensiva increíble. Aleja con el disco, Aleja Torres, la capitana de Revolution. Encuentra a María Paula Santos para Gina Cartagena. Busca el quiebre. What a great G by number 24, Kate Travaglini. Yeah, that's a great layup bit that gets the Soul another chance. She breaks the mark, looks for the round. A little give and go on the Colombian style. And Ferreira with the D. So Sheena, a lot of athletic plays right now. I think the match is just beginning and we have a great amount of bits, of layouts, and very entertaining match. Right? Again, the connection we were talking about.
Yeah, we're not surprised by what we're seeing. Of course, we were saying Aleja Torres and Claire Chastain, Manuela Cardenas with a lot of touches on the disc for Revolution. And for Atlanta Soul, you see Robin Fenig, Aaron Schroeder, Kate Travaglini had that incredible layout block. And then a new player as well, number 11, Julia Gregory, doing a lot of work downfield for Atlanta Soul right now. You know, I got an interesting question via Twitter, and the question was, you know, what are the proportions of the fields? And I think that's a good question. The field is 80 yards in length, 40 yards in width, and 20-yard end zones. As I'm looking at this field, I think that this field is a little short. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the same. Usually in Pro Ultimate, I've seen full American football fields being played in the AUDL. I also think it's a little bit short for the actual measures. I think we have to wait to Atlanta. I think it's in a few weeks when we will see the second round of plays. And again, Mosquera with a very large pool that goes to the back of the end zone, and we will be playing at the break mark.
Leah Sinagini walking up with the disc. She's a player I should have talked about at the beginning. lefty handler, so powerful with her throws. You know, she's got great deep throws, but she also has great touch throws. She'll be somebody we want to watch very closely tonight. Sam Hill with a disc in her hands, back to Sinajini. Another inside throw there to Crawford. Crawford doesn't have many options, has to go for the hammer. Crawford was looking for Fenig, brilliantly guarded by Valeria Cardenas. Fenig not able to get open. Up the line cut from Valeria Cardenas.
Valeria Cárdenas encuentra a Alejandra Uribe, en el número 14. Juega con Jimena Montaña, en el 57. Otra vez para Uribe. So we just saw a few touches from Alejandra Uribe and Jimena Montaña, and a great score by Valeria Cárdenas, assisted by Elizabeth Mosquera.
Looks like Atlanta Soul is taking a timeout. Makes a lot of sense. In very little time, they've put themselves in a bit of a hole. Revolution is up 5-2. What do you think they're saying right now in that timeout circle?
I think probably they were a little bit nervous at the beginning. There's a lot of pressure in this match. We're playing in Revolution House, and I think they're the underdogs coming to this match.
Absolutely. I could not agree with you more. I think taking a moment to just breathe and remember that, you know, you're here to have fun, you're here to play Ultimate, and that, you know, you can pass, you can catch, you can work together. And it's just going to take 1 point at a time, doing little things right all along the way. We'll get another shot here to see Seoul's offensive line. It'll be very interesting, actually. I think both teams have just about 15 players on this roster tonight. Although, it seems that Revolution might have a couple more folks. We have a longer roster in front of us for Revolution. I'm not sure if all those players are actually cleated up and ready to play. Not clear. Fenig. Sinajini. Schroeder, back to Sinajini. Revolution with a pretty loose cup here. They're happy to let these passes go off. They just want Seoul to really think about every single throw that they have to throw. Sinajini, the massive lefty forehand, looking for Schroeder. She catches it. A phenomenal grab by Aaron Schroeder. Toes the back of the end zone line to make that catch. One thing that actually doesn't get talked about very much is that is a lefty forehand from Leah Sinajini. So what that means actually is that as the disc is coming in, it's not coming in the same rotation, right? It's not coming clockwise as you would expect from a righty thrower. It's coming counterclockwise. So as you're catching it with your hand, it's even more challenging to catch because it's probably not what you're used to catching.
Siéntate allí. China nos estaba diciendo que acabamos de ver una gran atrapada de la número 41,
Leah Sinajini.
Leah Sinajini. gran despliegue atlético. Ella tiene que marcar con con la punta de sus pies en la end zone para anotar. Creo que vamos a ver muchas de estas jugadas. El PUL sale afuera. Valeria Cárdenas va a recoger el disco con ayuda del Game Advisor. Valeria Cárdenas will play a great throw to the break side. Valeria, I think, is one of the most accurate throwers in Revolution roster. And I think we can expect a lot of this kind of throws from her.
Look at Atlanta Soul needs to find an answer here for Mosquera. They need to find an answer also for Valeria Cardenas. I'm not sure what that looks like. I mean, that was a really tough point there for Seoul. The pole went out of bounds, which meant that the disc was coming in on the sideline only 10 or 15 yards in front of the end zone. And when you give a team like Revolution, a team that has been to the highest stage at the World Ultimate Club Championships in 2018, they have such amazing players. You can't give them that easy of an option. You have to make it a lot harder than that. And you can bet that Sam Hill, I think, who pulled that one, is going to be wiping her hands a little bit more next pull, and is going to be really focused on keeping it in bounds. Little things like that add up in a game. You get the pulls in bounds, you get the defense set, you make it harder on them, point after point, the game goes on. All these little things add up. Offense here for Seoul. Fenig had a couple open options, but didn't take them right away. Fry back to Fenig. Sinigini. Fenig again. A nice zone here from Revolution, making this a little complicated. Evelina Pierce with the disc, back to Sinigini. Now to Fenig. Revolution actually isn't even putting on a mark right here, but it's surprisingly effective. It's making the Atlanta Soul really think about every single throw and try to figure out, okay, is that person actually open, or is there a poach that I'm not seeing? Schrader back to Sinigini. Lots of movement between these two handlers. Seems like they're now in person. The Revolution is now playing person match defense. Fenig to Sinigini. I'll just keep saying those names all night. Another lefty forehand all the way to the back of the end zone. This one's for Julia Gregory. I think we'll be saying that name a lot tonight as well.
Yeah, Julia has, I think, a good height. Yeah, she's tall, and I think we could see some good athletic plays from her. I think what we said in the beginning about Seoul making throws to bigger spaces and Revolution doing the quick dishes, I think it's going backwards, right? I think Revo is looking for a deep game because they know they got a bit more athleticism on their receivers than Seoul's. But I also think it's working out for the Atlanta Soul to do as many touches of the disc as they can, and that's a good way to make it like a counter move for the junkie zone of Revolution. Here we see another pull, goes to the brick mark again, and we'll see Revo offense. In the middle of the field we have Kayla Halchin, one of the American players with this Revo roster. Looks like also like a junkie zone for Seoul. What a D. That's a huge D from number 49, Robin Fenig. That's a huge D to Kayla Halchin.
Yeah, I don't think Kayla Hilton knew that Robin Fenig was coming. If you know anything about Robin Fenig, you know that she can make plays like that. So you do not want to keep your eye off of her. You want to know where she is at every moment when you're on the field. This gives Atlanta Soul an opportunity to get a break back. They needed Fenig to make that play. Let's see if they can capitalize. Katherine Yost with a disc. Looks like Crawford has it. We're so grateful for these hand signals. Looks like there's been a pick called. This will remain with Crawford. The defender will simply catch up. And play resumes. Trying to find Sam Stowell there, but a little bit too far out in front. Revolution's O-line gets the disc back on a miscue from Atlanta Soul.
So Atlanta, almost she got the number 30, Katherine Yost. Revo with the quick dishes we were just talking about. A good upline code by Ana Rojas and a great goal. I think this was a really important break opportunity for Seoul. They just slipped out of their hands. Let's hope we got a little bit of these defensive looks with the young zone, because usually when we play offense and we got a Yankee look, like a zone defense, we don't want to like go deep, right? Because there's like a big tall person right there. But they're taking their chances. Revo is taking their chances. Seoul is taking their chances, and I think that's really encouraging for the audience here at Medellin. We're at a big sports complex called Atanasio Girardot in the field Marte Uno.
And one thing that's really interesting, there was a soccer game that was happening in the stadium behind us earlier today. And as we were playing, all we could hear were these drums beating. And at one point I thought to myself, is the thunder just like beating, on beat? What happened? But it turns out there's just a big soccer game. I had no idea. It's been so much fun. Still here on offense. Fry up to Schroeder. A little bit of confusion from the cutters. Schroeder's forced to put up a forehand hook. Cavallini tracks that one down, willing his footwork to keep that in bounds. She was really running out of real estate very quickly. Manuela Cardenas thought about making a play on that pass, but I think she was just a little too far to have an impact. And I keep getting questions about the length of the field on Twitter. Thanks for asking those questions. Keep them coming. I don't know. It looks to me like this field is really short. I've played Ultimate for a long time, and it looks short to me. We've also noticed that almost all of the poles have gone out the back, and I'm wondering if the field is too short. And I don't even know, who do we talk to maybe at halftime they can make some kind of adjustment.
I think also the end zones are quite big. Here in Colombia, we're not used to full field lengths because we usually play in turf here in Medellin, and we didn't get this big amount of space in the end of the back zone. So I think actually the answer is a little bit, but probably they're just keeping the central zone a little bit smaller to make those big plays that we want to see in the end zone, and to get a big cheer from this audience when whatever team scores the goal. Desde el Twitter de China nos preguntan respecto a la longitud del campo, que realmente lo vemos corto, nosotros que hemos tenido un poco de experiencia en el Ultimate. El PUL sale, hay un llamado de pick activo en la cancha. Game Advisor se acerca a Elizabeth, corrobora que todo esté bien y el juego prosigue. Jimena Montaña con el disco. buen intento defensivo por parte de Sol. Acá la Helton, número 5. Katherine Yost, número 30. Hay un llamado activo en la cancha. Game Advisor se acerca.
It's good to see Kayla Helton getting up. She's a player that's had some back injuries, so whenever I see, her, make a layout and not get up or get up slowly, I worry a little bit. I've played against her for many years, but you never want to see an opponent get hurt, especially phenomenal players like that. So foul call, it was overturned. It was non-contested, and Helton with a beautiful shot to Mosquera with a really nice catch there at the back of the end zone. She got that one toe inside the lines, inside the end zone for that score. And I'm not actually seeing a timer anywhere. The timer is actually downstairs, so we don't have, up here in the booth, we can't see that time. I apologize. Maybe at some point we'll get better information about that. Score is 8-3. As far as I know, we're still in the first quarter. We'll keep you posted, and we can find a better way to give you information.
Gracias a todas las personas que están aquí conectadas. Esta es la Liga Profesional Femenina Premier Ultimate League. Revolution haciendo su estreno, enfrentando a Atlanta Soul. Saludamos a todos los patrocinadores de la liga. Gracias Spin Ultimate. Gracias Layout Ultimate, BC Ultimate y Discraft. Ahí están los patrocinadores de esta Liga Profesional Femenina que se estrena acá en la cancha Marte. Avanza el equipo estadounidense cerca de la anotación y nosotros continuamos con nuestro relator y comentarista invitado, Simón y Gina.
Acabamos de ver una falta de comunicación y tenemos un tiempo fuera de Revolution. We just see a timeout from Revo. I think this is an important G, that's why they're calling it. And they need this break to get a bigger advantage on the score. I think it's a good move by Mauricio to get a really good offensive setting to get this score.
Absolutely. I think there's a very big difference between a score of 8-6 or a score of 9-5. And right now Revolution is taking this timeout because they want the score to be 9-5. Unfortunate miscue there from Atlanta Soul. Schroeder was looking for Maddie Fry, threw a quick give-go, trying to hit her in the forehand. Maddie Fry didn't know that the disc was for her, let it pass by.
I think they just told me here in the booth that there's about 1 minute 15 seconds remaining of the first quarter. So this game is a fourth quarter, 12 minutes each quarter. Just Chastain going up line with Cartagena. She goes for the break side. A great inside out look from Forero. We just get told that we got 1 minute left. Whenever we got a big sound coming in. Oh, great catch by Cartagena. Puts it up for Santos, and she's got it. There's an active call. There's a pick call. Looks like there's a pick call on the field.
Players were discussing, and actually one thing that's important to note that we didn't say a moment ago is that in the PUL you can sub during timeouts. So what Mauricio did there, he decided to put in Revolution's offensive line in order to secure this break. So you saw some different people out on the field, right? You saw Cartagena, You saw Torres, and you also saw Claire Chastain coming in, fresh legs, making sure that Revolution gets that break. Seoul also had a couple different people on that line, but of course, they're going to keep their best players on the field. That's Robin Fenig, that's Erin Schroeder, that's Kate Tressolini. These are names we're going to say over and over again.
We have 30 seconds remaining of the first quarter of this PUL game. First game in the history of the PUL. So let's see if they're gonna go the fast-paced movement they've got, the Seoul offense.
So what's really interesting, something that doesn't get talked about very much, for players that play in USA Ultimate rules or WFTF rules, when there's a clock, you have to think about, okay, I need to take these full 30 seconds to score this point, because or else the other team still has time on the clock. So Seoul's in an interesting position where they have 30 seconds on the clock, and they need to score in these 30 seconds, but they don't want to score too quickly. And that's a really unusual situation. And it's a situation that I think neither of these teams are probably very familiar with if they haven't had many opportunities to play professionally. Big huck, phenomenal grab by Katherine Yost. And she finds Sam Hill for the goal. Much needed hold for Atlanta Seoul.
10 seconds.
As I was speaking about the clock, looks like they have 10 seconds remaining, so now Atlanta Seoul has to play defense for 10 seconds. Just 10 seconds. That's all they have to do to stop Revolution here on this offensive point. It'll be interesting to see how Atlanta Seoul will do that. Are they going to come down in a zone? Are they going to come down in person? Are they going to just leave players in the end zone, and not even guard a thrower? So something that's really exciting about this league is that there's no blueprint, and the players are all gonna have to figure out the answers to these questions as they get more and more experience playing in these games, playing in front of crowds, playing on live streams.
Quedan 10 segundos del primer cuarto. Veremos si Revo busca rápidamente el pase largo a la zona de gol, a la zona de anotación, o si simplemente no, realmente también planteemos el sistema defensivo de Seoul. Irán persona a persona, irán en una zona, o podrán simplemente dejar personas en la zona de gol que están defendiendo. Un PUL que sale al break, le da una oportunidad a Revo importante. We just see a PUL going out of bounds from Seoul. That gives Revo a good chance to just bomb it and have a good receiver, because they just got 10 seconds whenever the disc goes in. And it's going in. We just got 10 seconds. Well, should rip it. Okay, the time went out, but we can still play the last offensive possession from the team who just had it. So Chastain with the disc, looking for Torres. Gets Cartagena. There's a little bit of contact. Let's see if there's no call on the play. And that's it for the first quarter. Sheena, a really exciting quarter. A lot of defensive plays, a lot of great athleticism on the offense for both teams. We saw a huge D by Manuela Cardenas. We also see a huge grab from one of the Seoul players. I can't remember right now. Robin Fenig?
And Erin Schroeder.
Sorry, and Erin Schroeder. And let's see what we can get in this remaining quarter of the first half of the first match in history of a professional Ultimate Frisbee Women's League, the Premier Ultimate League.
It's interesting to see just a little bit how these two teams are getting comfortable with the fact that there is a shot clock, there's a timer. So a little confusing there. We heard a horn go off as Torres had the disc in her hands, but I guess there was some confusion because the clock should start after she releases the disc on the tap-in, not using the stall count. We'll see how these two teams adjust as well to the field size. Should be very interesting. What do you think some things are that Atlanta Soul can be changing as they go into the second quarter?
I think the fast-paced movement is working a lot for them. I think they should stick to that. Also, I think they should trust more on their throws. They got really good throwers. They got the lefty-handed handler. What's her name? Sorry.
Leah Sinagini.
Sinagini, 41. Leah Sinagini. So actually, Revo doesn't have a lefty-handed handler, and that's a really good advantage here in Ultimate Frisbee. So yeah, probably stick to the zone in a defensive perspective and just keep it going. Yeah.
A punto de iniciar el segundo cuarto. Agradecimiento a todos los patrocinadores de la liga. Gracias a todos ustedes por estar ahí pendientes, ahí en el YouTube Live, en el perfil de Revolution. Gracias por estar allí, gracias por sus comentarios, por apoyarnos y ayudarnos a mejorar cada vez la transmisión. Detalles de conexión que ya se han ido solucionando, mucha gente conectada. Muchísimas gracias por estar ahí. Agradecemos a Spin Ultimate, patrocinador oficial, Layout Ultimate también, BC y Discraft, los patrocinadores oficiales de la Premier Ultimate League. Gracias a todos ustedes. Volvemos, tiene el pool en este momento Revolution a cargo de Elizabeth Mosquera. Seguimos con los comentarios de Sheena Titcomb.
Revolution with a pull. We have Atlanta Soul here on offense. Fenig up to Sam Stovall, back to Fenig. Again, the soft zone from Revolution is just going to force Atlanta Soul to make a lot of passes. Maddie Fry looking for Crawford in the deep face. She gets fouled there on that backhand. Unfortunate timing as she did have Crawford completely open. Of course, when you have Mosquera in the backfield, you can't just throw anywhere you want. Nice movement, Fry, Fenig. Back to Fry. And then Crawford gets free. Mosquera caught on her heels a little bit. Thought she'd switch with another one of her players, but she had not. Just wanted to clarify also what I'd said before. I guess as the few seconds were counting down of the first quarter, my understanding is that actually you play out the possession. It's not necessarily a timer, so you play out the possession. Thanks, Twitter, for helping us figure this out. That was a nice hold for Seoul. I think they needed that. They needed to be able to put their defensive players back out onto the field. I think also we saw some moments where it got a little hairy, got a little tricky. That's a good sign from Revolution. Their transition from that zone into the person caused chaos and caused Atlanta Soul to have to slow down and hold on to the disc for a little bit longer than probably they would have liked to.
Yeah, just like we said, the quick dishes are working for them. It's a good offensive possession for the Soul. Here we see a very good pull just to the back of the end zone. Santos to Torres. Aleja to Manuela. Cardenas, number 8. Aleja again to Santos. A really close throw. Getting Aleja again. Santos to Cardenas. Puts it up for Chastain. And that's a great goal by Claire Chastain. Manuela Cárdenas lanza un excelente largo a Claire Chastain, compañera de equipo en Molly Brown de la ciudad de Denver, Colorado. A shout out to all the Denver players who are watching. That's a connection you guys really like to see, and a shout out to Molly Brown. Just wanted to say that we've got 3 goals, 3 of the 10 goals, the same thing. Either Claire assisting for Manu or Manu to Claire. It's really a great pair of players. And they've matched up together like against each other, and that's like 2 titans going to each other. They're really good, they're really athletic, and they understand each other really well. And they're real similar. They're fast, they got good throws, and it's something that we can, as I said before, expect in the rest of the Seoul games. I think Mosquera just adjusted her pull. We got a good pull, and yeah, definitely the game zone it has changed.
Hill with a disc, looking deep to Trevelini. That's a great receiver. Really easy to put it out into space. It's nice to see Atlanta Seoul finding a bit of rhythm here. That's their second no-turn offensive point. And again, you saw Fenig being the distributor of the offense, moving the ball when she needs to, but also holding the ball when she needs to. It's really nice to also see other contributions from the downfield cutters. Hill with that really nice throw.
This live broadcast of the Premier Ultimate League is brought to you by Spin Ultimate. Spin Ultimate providing custom team uniforms and ultimate apparel since 2007. Visit Spin on the web at spinultimate.com. Spin Ultimate, patrocinador oficial de la Premier Ultimate League.
Another pull from the Seoul. Cartagena receiving a great inside intention from Torres. Chastain in the mark. Early turnover in this point. Gives the Seoul another break opportunity. Would bring it down to just 1, right? So let's hope they can make it and see a close match. A good defensive effort by Chastain.
Sinigini with a disc here, and a bit of a miscue from Revolution's offense. It's the first turnover I think we've seen from their O-line. And now Atlanta Seoul with a chance at a break. If I was Seoul, I'd be very happy to have Leah Sinigini with a disc in her hands with a break opportunity. Looks like Atlanta Seoul is going to call a timeout here. Smart move. They'll likely have an opportunity to set something up. They're only about 15-20 yards in front of the end zone. They'll also be able to sub. So for those of you that are just joining, quick reminder that one of the interesting parts of playing professional ultimate means that you can sub players during timeouts. So not only is it, is a timeout a useful time for players to rest and maybe, collect their thoughts, it's actually a time to put fresh legs out on the field. That's something that players probably not very used to. It's probably a new feeling for them. I've played professionally in Seattle for the last 2 years, and it definitely takes getting used to. It's especially challenging. You're a defensive-minded player. You work really hard. You get the block. You go pick up the frisbee, and then boom, timeout. You get subbed out, and then the offensive line comes in. And in that moment, you just have to trust that they're ready to turn their brains on, be present in the moment, and take care of business for your team. It's a challenge, though. It's something that's very new for a lot of these players. It's fun.
Thanks, Sheena, for talking to us about your experience. In the AUDL, right, with the Seattle Cascades, that's like a mixed game, right? Or oh, you also had an event against San Francisco, right? That you played just women's. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we have an open roster, a mixed roster, and a women's roster. So I play on all three. Atlanta Soul here, right on the doorstep. Really easy throw to Erin Schroeder. That's Katherine Yost. We've said her name a couple times. She gets the nice assist there to Erin Schroeder, who made the cut initially, cleared out, and then came back into the space for a very easy backhand pass. If you're Soul, you're probably happy with that timeout call because what you got out of it was a break. And you're happy with the decisions of the decision to put different players on the field. And you're happy to keep your defense out there, to have another opportunity to play against Revolution's O-line, try to force that Revolution O-line into tight quarters, tight spaces. It'll be interesting to see here. We've seen Atlanta Soul come down in a bit of a junk. I've heard the sideline say the number of passes. So I expect probably a transition junk or maybe a zone. We'll see exactly what happened or what will happen as play gets underway. Fenig with a pull. Beautiful shot.
Rojas catching the pull, centering to Valeria, then to Cartagena. Good pump fakes. A great bid from a Soul player. Held him back to. Now we got Rojas with the disc. Forero, number 96. She was a World Games player in 2017. A really quick cutter. To Mosquera. She goes deep. Looking for Cartagena. She's just in the doorstep. Good fakes by Gina. And a great inside look. To a great inside out pass to Pelton. It looks like there's an active pull, a peg call.
Nice bid there from Jamie Estes. You know something that's really interesting? We've said Mosquera, as a cutter is someone that you really need to watch out as she heads for the end zone. In that situation there, she comes underneath and she actually distributes the away pass. So don't put her in a box. Don't underestimate her. You think you can push her under? No, because then she's just going to burn you with her throws. And I think that's actually something that if you've watched Revolution over the last couple of years, like she's developed into that kind of player that is a threat with the disc in her hands and then a threat downfield as well. And she could very easily not have developed that. She could very easily have just continued to be just a receiver. I think that's a testament to the Revolution team when you develop a player to be more than maybe what they're best at. But if you build them up to be more of a complete player, and just like we saw, that's how they can contribute on the field.
Yeah, I totally agree. Elizabeth is known for her great cuts, but she's also got a big arsenal of throws. Manuela Cardenas with the pull. Again, a junky look from Revo defense. Looks like a cup. They're forcing flick. The Soul is really good at fast throws. They got some good handlers. Number 41, Sinagini, she's been amazing today. She's got some really good puts. And I think we just saw Revo do the transition to matchup defense against Sinagini with the frisbee. Looking for the upline cut. And a great, there's a foul. Foul on the mark. Non-contested. Non-contested. So we got again Sol with the frisbee, Fidden looking for Matty Fry, Sinagini with the break side dump. They're just outside of the end zone, almost a hand block, and a great put to the break side outline cut. A really nice offensive look from Alana Sol.
Lisa Finton, with the goal. I think that point where we saw was Leah Sinagini taking over, and I think that's what you get when you have a lefty handler. You know, I think that whoever was guarding her, Revolution's defender on Leah Sinagini, was playing her a little too much like she was a righty handler, made it really easy for Leah Sinagini to reach around the mark and break her multiple times. That throw was a perfect throw. She had very little time, very little space to make that throw to her teammate. But because she's a lefty, when she's crossing over from a backhand grip to a forehand grip, she can do that faster on the right-hand side of her body. If you're a right-handed player, but you're moving is from a forehand grip to a backhand grip, that's a lot slower of a transition. Close game right now. Sol at 10, Revolution at 11. Sol is staying tight in this game. They got those couple of breaks back. They're still going to need to put a lot of pressure on this Revolution team. Helton with the disc.
Now we got Rojas with the disc, looking for Montaña. Cardenas to Cartagena, looking for one of her best receivers, Mosquera. They've played for a lot of time together. Cartagena again, looking to Rojas. Valeria, break side throw, and Montaña with a great goal. That's a great offense by Rebel. Great offense.
Montaña with the goal, and I really like the fact that she gets to be the one that scores that goal. You probably have never heard of her name, Montaña. She's not the Cardenas sisters. She's not Dina. She's not Mosquera. But if you watch Revolution, she's the player that's grinding so hard, especially after she gets the block, because she's the one that's getting the block. So she gets the block, and then she's the one just making so many yardage gaining cuts for Revolution. It's really fun to see her on the O-line. Traditionally, I think she's been more of a defensive player for Revolution. So it's really fun to see that development of a player. And again, it goes back to what I was saying just a couple points ago. Don't try to put these Revolution players in a box. Don't try to just say that they can only do one thing, because they can do a lot of things. So anyways, it's really fun to see Montaña catch that goal playing on the O-line. Yeah, it makes me smile.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Shayna, because she's a really athletic player. She works so hard on her cuts, and I actually remember a lot. I get a lot of thoughts watching her about Joel Schlackett. He's a player that grinds really hard, and he's a great continuation cutter. He's not like an initiation cutter. He just helps his team, and that's what Montaña just did in this last offensive point for Rebel. Now we got Sol with the disc. Oh, good beat by Frey, bumping into Torres. She looks good, no problem. There's an injury call.
You know what? I actually thought that was going to happen. Maddie Fry's been playing a lot of points. She just hit the ground really hard for that bid. Schroeder's pass just a little too far out in front. Maddie Fry is a player that is going to bid whenever she thinks she can get a hand on the disc. I mean, that's the kind of player she is, giving every ounce of energy. I hope she's okay. I mean, she just stood up and walked off the field, so that's a good sign that she's standing on her own accord. And now we've got number 30, Katherine Yost, who's subbing in. And it's like, I don't...
Mosquera just got into the field. She just stopped for another player. I'm not sure who. Well, the disc is tapped in again. And a great cut by Manuela. She didn't get open. Forero with the frisbee, looking for Mosquera. And a great goal by Chastain. A really easy offense. All in the open side lane. Now Revo is up 13-10. I think that was a break, right? It was 12. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure. We're not sure if that was a break or not. All we know is Revo is up by 2. It's a great game right now. Mosquera with the PUL. We'll see again. Yeah.
And so that was a break by Revolution, very efficient. Unfortunate miscue there between Schroeder and Maddie Fry, but very efficient there for Revolution. And I just wanted to update you all that Columbus just beat Nashville in the other PUL game that's happening tonight. Congratulations, Columbus, first-tier team, and already getting their first win of the season. Really exciting. It's always fun when you can update fans on scores that are happening, across the world. What an incredible feeling.
It's true.
Sol here back on offense. Nice pull from Mosquera. Pinning Sol on the sideline, making it a little bit awkward actually. Schroeder. And now looks like Lisa Fitton with the disc. Bit of a discussion if I had to guess, maybe maybe it was a contact call or maybe a fast count call. Now they're just figuring it out. Resume play. Erin Schroeder with her favorite receiver, Kate Travellini. Fortunately, didn't connect with that one. But that's okay. They'll connect on another one soon, I'm sure. Revolution now with the disc. Valeria.
Now we see Valeria. Mosquera is going deep. Yeah, she's taking it. Of course she is. Mosquera. A little too far.
Too far in front. And something that's actually really interesting. You saw the Mosquera-Crawford matchup. Crawford is a little bit shorter than Mosquera, but she was matching her step for step. That's incredible speed. For anyone who's never seen these players perhaps in person, I'd say Mosquera is maybe 5'8", 5'9". She's actually maybe 5'9", and she's a sprinter. Her background is in sprinting. She takes long strides and is a very powerful athlete. Crawford, an incredible athlete in their own right. Near block from Mosquera, but Crawford hangs on. Crawford's perhaps 5'4", 5'5". Very impressive. Nice throw, visionary throw there. Sam Stovall. This time she does connect. Is that Kate Travellini? Hard to see. Yeah, I believe that is Kate Travellini. She lost her hat during the point, so usually I can spot her out with her blue hat.
So we just have about 50 seconds, 45 seconds remaining of this first half in the second quarter. Let's see what Revo's offense is gonna do. We want to keep the frisbee with them, or if they're gonna go for the fast goal and the break chance. We want to thank all the people who helped us with the streaming. We know it was a little bit dysfunctional. We hope everything's all right now. And yeah, we're about to get to half of this first match of the PUL. It's been a great match so far. The PUL goes up from Seoul. Cartagena is catching the PUL. Inbound PUL to Torres. Aleja to Forero. Easily catch by Cartagena to Chastain. Quick dishes, quick Colombian dishes. Cartagena Cárdenas Cartagena again to Torres. Breaking the zone. Forero. Aleja, the main handler of this Bravo squad. An unfortunate drop by Manuela Cárdenas. Let's see what they're gonna try. I think it's a great break opportunity for Seoul. Looking the break side. Manuela in the mark. And just a miscommunication. Torres with Chastain. Quick dishes. Great catch by Aleja. Great cut by Chastain. What a connection. That's a great goal. Thank you very much for all those who've been connected to this transmission. It's brought to you also by Desde la Línea. And yeah, we want to thank them because they've streamed a lot of the matches here at TEP. I think it's important to say to those who don't know what's happening this weekend here at Colombia. We got the biggest Latin American hosted tournament in the world, like in Latin America. It's been on. This is like the 7th time it's been. In 2009 was the first one. 2011, but in the name of a PUL, first PUL. Then 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, this is the 8th version of TEP.
What's really interesting about this tournament, it feels like kind of the brainchild of Mauricio Moore and Aleja Torres, because they decided, hey, we're going to put this on and we're going to build this tournament. And it's not going to build itself in 1 year. It's going to take time. And it's developed into a tournament that a lot of players love playing. A fantastic tee from Mosquera. Soul there. Just unfortunate not seeing Mosquera. And Valeria Cardenas with a really easy throw to Mosquera. And that's a break for Revolution. So what I was saying a moment ago is just that this tournament really has developed into a tournament where teams from all over the country and then all over the world come and compete at. So when you're looking at the tournament schedule, you're seeing teams like Seattle Riot, you're seeing teams like San Francisco Revolver, you're seeing teams like Atlanta Soul, you're seeing teams like Denver's Molly Brown. But you're also seeing teams that are not just in the United States. This year, the Black Widows have traveled all the way to Colombia to play in this tournament. Their team based out of Southeast Asia, a number of players from many different countries. So it's pretty exciting to see this tournament really grow. And it feels so special to have this Premier Ultimate League game happening in this venue and within this tournament context. It's a celebration of everybody coming together and the development of Ultimate around the world. Soul on offense. Lisa Fitton with a disc to Fenig. Really nice give-go motion. Fenig holding on, trying to find an option. Finds Amy Smith. Looks like there's a pick on the field. Smith will keep the disc as the players readjust downfield. Really nice up the line pass to Fenig. Very little separation here with these handlers, and an excellent grab by Leah Sinigini. Really nice throw by Fenig. She just puts that throw into space. Leah Sinigini sacrificing the body for a really nice play. You know, one thing that you saw was Manuela Cardenas coming from the other direction. One thing you don't really talk about as much and you don't really see that show up in highlight reels are these moments when these athletes decide to not make a play. And when they don't make a play, what they're doing is that they're putting the safety of everybody on the field above all else. And you saw that Manuela saw that Leah Sinigini was making that cut, she pulled back. She decided to not go full speed and run into Leah Sinigini. I think it's a discussion that's happening a lot more with this great, the new WFDF sort of spirit score system, where there's a lot of emphasis on, recognizing times when players, go out of the way to not make contact and go out of the way to be safe. So I wanted to shout out that specific moment because I think it's a really critical time, and it doesn't get talked about enough, I think.
Now Reba with the offense. Valeria to Gina Cartagena. She's got some great pump fakes. And I think that's one of the greatest virtues of her. Here Valeria with her speed, her fast throws to Helton, and another score by Montaña. I think this is Gina's favorite player right now from Revo's roster. Yeah, we're having fun here watching her score and just grind it and leave it all at the field. And it's not such a rewarded job to just grind it all the point. But yeah, you get the goal. But if you, I don't know, sometimes you try to get open, it's hard. But at the end when you just score, it's like, okay, I did my job and I feel good about it. And I think Montaña is feeling that right now.
I think Montaña is gonna rewatch this stream, and she's gonna be like, "What the heck? I've never even met China before. She's so weird. Why is she so obsessed with me?" But it's because she's a great player, and now I think anyone who's watching the stream will now know her name. So everybody, watch out. She's not only coming, she's arrived. Super fun player to watch. Also, I just want to apologize because I know I'm not pronouncing everybody's names right, both on the Revolution roster but also on the Seoul roster. I've already gotten some help via Twitter. If you're seeing names that I'm mispronouncing, let me know and I can try to be better. Fry there. Big huck. Really nice grab from Sam Hill. You usually see Sam Hill coming underneath, distributing those hucks. This time Maddie Fry lets it rip, and it's Sam Hill who brings it down. She does a nice job there of using her shoulders, using her body to protect the space she has in front of her from Mosquera. Mosquera was right with her step for step, but because Sam Hill was able to put her body in front, she was able to make that play very easily. Right on the back line of the end zone too. She had to be really aware of her feet and of her where the line was.
So we're approaching to an actual USAU or WFDF score, and we just got a minute left to half. So I think we're gonna get a big score tonight. I think, I don't know, let's say 28, 25, something like that. And that's a great amount of points, And it's just 12, 24, 30, 48 minutes of ultimate. That's it. And to score like 60 goals or a little bit less, 48 minutes of play, I think that's impressive. I think it's a good rule. I think it's a little bit more exciting for the viewers. We have Valeria Cárdenas with the frisbee, Elizabeth Mosquera getting Cartagena. A good bid there. Forero back to Cartagena. Torres. Elizabeth Mosquera. Great fake. Good D by Julie Gregory to Maria Paula Santos, number 24. 15 seconds. I think Rev is gonna have the possession. Yeah.
I think there's a little bit of confusion there because looks like Katherine Yost did go down, so she tried to make a play, she jumped up, and then she stayed on the ground for a couple of seconds. So I think it was a little confusing. Both teams weren't sure if she was, injured, calling an injury. And then, of course, Valeria ran up to the disc to try to get it into play to make it in time before the buzzer went off, but wasn't quite able to make that happen.
Prepárense para el show de medio tiempo.
Se viene el show de medio tiempo, señoras y señores. Agradecemos a todas las personas que están aquí conectadas. Agradecimiento especial, por supuesto, a Simón y a Shina, que están aquí de nuestros comentaristas y relatores invitados. Estamos en el medio tiempo. Vamos entonces con una mención comercial. Ya regresamos absolutamente con todos los detalles de esta transmisión Premier Ultimate League. The Discraft Ultra Star is the official disc of the Premier Ultimate League. Discraft, the world leader in
Cucho, no, para un momentico. Ya.
This live broadcast of the Premier Ultimate League is brought to you by Spin Ultimate. Spin Ultimate providing custom team uniforms and ultimate apparel since 2007. Visit Spin on the web at spinultimate.com. The Discraft Ultra Star is the official disc of the Premier Ultimate League. Discraft, the world leader in disc sports. Estamos iniciando el tercer cuarto, la segunda mitad de este juego, Liga Profesional Femenina. Gracias a todas las personas que están aquí conectadas. Los invitamos a que sigan compartiendo la transmisión. Estamos a full, señoras y señores, gracias, de verdad, un orgullo para nosotros. Aprovechamos para nombrar a los patrocinadores Spin Ultimate, Layout Ultimate, BC y Discraft. Continuamos entonces con el juego. Y en este momento le damos paso a nuestra comentarista, Sheena Titcomb.
Really great energy here at halftime. We had a really awesome halftime show with some incredible dancers, as well as a singer. I don't know what he was saying, but it sounded really good. Great, and perhaps when Simon returns, he can tell you more about that group. Okay. And why they're here, what it means. Just wanted to actually give an opportunity here to hear from Bert Abbott. She works with Strive and Uplift. I'm going to pass the mic over to her.
Thank you, China. So I'm one of the founding coaches of Strive and Uplift. We're a strength and conditioning community made for Ultimate players, and we offer online programming for Frisbee players. We're really, really excited to support the Premier Ultimate League as sponsors for all of the reasons that Maddie talked about in her opening statement before this game started. This is such a community effort, and it is all about the dream that everyone can access, that dream of professional ultimate. And we're really proud to offer to the players, all of the players of the Premier Ultimate League, our online resources for workout programming, and some of the teams, including Atlanta Soul, are doing our workout programming. We really believe in making things accessible for people, so we have that programming available to Club Ultimate players right now, expanding to college and other kinds of resources for as low as $7.50 USD per month. You can check out everything that we offer at www.striveanduplift.com. Just super stoked about this league and being able to support it in every way that we possibly can.
Thanks so much, Bert, for joining us, and we'll talk a little bit more about Strive and Uplift throughout this next half so you can learn a little bit more about them. Great company, doing great work, supporting important work. So thanks so much for joining us there for a minute, Bert. So I wanted to give a quick update here on the conditions and on the field size, actually. We have the correct field size now. That's one important update. The other update, it's completely stopped raining, which I'm sure the players are very excited about. It's definitely drying up, and there's still zero wind. Sometimes it's silly to feel like you have to say these things on air, but it's really helpful for folks that aren't here, sitting in the stands, watching this game live.
Yeah, definitely. It affects a lot in the pace of the game, the speed, and in the styles that each team has. Now Mosquera is pulling like she used to. Before she was like just ripping like a hawk. Now she's got that impulse and that technique that's really characteristic in her. Para aquellas personas que todavía nos siguen viendo de habla hispana, podemos ver que la cancha se ha ampliado. Ya Elizabeth Mosquera de Revolution, la número 15, utiliza su técnica para lanzar los pulls. La ofensa del Soul con un largo. She's going deep. She's gonna get it. And she drops it. That's really unfortunate. That's really unfortunate.
Really nice throw from Kate Travellini and Sam Stovall, getting a lot of separation deep. Now Soul will have to play some defense as Revo rips a forehand. Valeria Cardenas looking for Montaña, my favorite player. Who knows? Maybe she'll be our disc golf player of the game. I hear commentators get to choose that, so maybe she'll be my choice for that.
The person with the disc is called Laura Arango. She's a junior. She went to WJUC last year, and I think she'll be back to that's gonna be Sweden, I think. She's a really athletic player. Now we got a turnover from the Rebels defense in O. We'll see what the Soul is gonna get after that unfortunate drop.
Stovall with a disc. Easy pass to Travellini. She's the one who got the block. Maddie Frey. Phenomenal block from Montaña. What did I say, ladies and gentlemen? I said she was going to get blocks, and I said she was going to score goals, and that's what she's done. That's so exciting. Revolution now, their defensive offense needs to calm down a little bit. It needs to take 100% throws so that they can secure this break opportunity. Mosquera to Valeria Cardenas. Mosquera, every other at this point. Still trapped on that forced sideline. Inside break to Valeria. And blown coverage. And guess who scores the goal? Montaña. What's the opposite of a commentator's curse? Maybe a commentator's blessing? Like, I keep talking about Montaña and she keeps doing great things. Really fun thing to happen as a commentator. Simon, tell us a little bit more about who was performing at halftime.
Actually, I'm not sure who they were, but here in Medellin we had a very violent history in the decade of the 80s and 90s, with all the like narco culture and all that stuff. So a lot of people from those poor spaces in the city, they find ways of avoiding violent spaces through art. Specifically, we saw some dance moves out there from a cool group, and I think they're probably from a neighborhood like Comuna 13 or one of the neighborhoods at, we call them comunas. Yeah. That's what that those are my guesses. Yeah. It was really exciting. It was a good show. It was a really good show.
Thanks so much for sharing that. I didn't know that context, so it's really fun to hear. Atlanta Soul here on offense. Sinigini to Fenig. Fenig was unmarked. Now she seems to have found, her defenders found her. Fenig going every other. Katherine Yost actually doing a nice job to find Fenig in that inside lane. Schroeder to Fenig. A little bit of confusion here. A lot of people are cutting up line, but no one's filling the space. Finally, Sinigini comes back. And a beautiful lefty forehand out to Katherine Yost. Again, that's something that she can throw so quickly because it's on her forehand side as a left-handed player.
I think this was definitely a Fenig point. She got in a very good way open for those inside lanes, and she got like shoot from the flick inside out lane. I think it was really good cuts. She really understands how to move with her team. I think there's really good chemistry on this Seoul offense. Yeah, it's been a good match so far. Right now we are 18-13. How's the score?
I think it's indeed 18-14.
18-14.
And I think it's really interesting. Of course, Fenig is going every other. It's interesting. I think they had the same player guarding her in the first half. What was Revolution's player?
Santos, Maria Paula Santos.
Oh, that was who was guarding her. We'll see if they change up that matchup. I have to say, I don't think anyone has been super effective on her. She's been able to pretty much get anything she wants, both in terms of when she's, getting open and also in terms of her throws. It'll be interesting to see, can Revolution adjust? Can they put different players on her? Put a player that's small and fast, then put a player that's tall and has a big mark. Just switch it up, make her have to think a lot more. Revolution on offense. Valeria Cardenas to Mosquera. Going deep for Montaña. No problem. A beautiful hug from Mosquera. Really showing that she can do it all.
Great put by Mosquera. Great put. That was a great put from Mosquera. As you just said, she's got all her arsenal, and she just not only cuts, she gets good throws also.
So I wanted to just give a little bit more background on the Premier Ultimate League. This is the inaugural season in 2019. They've done some amazing fundraising with the help of VC Ultimate, and some amazing community building throughout the country and throughout the world. The eight teams that are part of the Premier Ultimate League are Atlanta Soul, Austin Torch, Columbus Pride, Indy Red, New York Gridlock, Nashville Nightshade, Medellin Revolution, and Raleigh Radiance. So of course we have these two teams playing right now. Their season will go throughout the springtime with a culmination event, the championship weekend in Atlanta actually. So if you're If this is your first time tuning in, we expect to see you on every live stream. We expect for you to become a big fan, because this is some incredible ultimate. Aaron Schroeder looking for Robin Fenig. Really nice throw and a really nice catch. Robin Fenig going deep this time. You can't sleep on her. You can't think that she's only going to be around the disc. She's going to do it all.
They just matched up Cartagena with Fenig. And Cartagena is probably one of the best players, not probably, she's one of the top 3 from Rebel, right? And she couldn't get her. So I think Fenig is doing just a great work and doing everything she can to open spaces. And we just got a wave here in the booth.
Yeah, if you're hearing crowd noises, it's because this crowd is very excited about the wave. I've never seen a crowd this excited about the wave. Seoul really needed that very quick offensive hold. They need to get their defense out there. They need to put some pressure on this Revolution O-line. Maybe we'll see another junk set. Maybe we'll see another zone look. Great pull from Seoul. Revolution on offense.
Rojas with the disc, centering to Valeria Cardenas. The junkie zone by Seoul. Quick dishes. Kayla Helton with the frisbee. Mosquera toes the line. Looks to Valeria Cardenas. Rojas with the frisbee. Opening up to Montaña. Centering again to Valeria. Mosquera, quick dish. A give and go move by Valeria Cardenas. A bladed flick. Changing the side. Uribe with the frisbee. Getting Rojas open. Uribe with a great catch. Great catch by Alejandra Uribe. She's a player who had a bit of injuries. She torn her ACL 2 seasons ago. Then before WCC, she torn her other ACL. It's been hard for her, but she's been really compromised with her therapies, and she's made a lot of progress. She was in the roster we talked later at Ireland.
I was actually about to ask. I think I recognize her from 2012. It's really, my heart goes out to her. I've torn 1 ACL. I know how much work it is to go back out on the field. You say she's torn 2, so 2 ACLs. Both ACLs. That's heartbreaking. I do want to say one thing. One player that we aren't seeing out on the field right now who's recovering from an ACL surgery is Ospina, and that's probably a name you've heard before. Her play from WUCC semifinals, Revolution, was on ESPN top 10. Yeah, Sports Center top 10. It was an incredible layout, and she's an incredible athlete. And I'm not going to say that Revolution is missing her, because Revolution is so good. It's not about one player. But she's a really fun player to watch. And I miss her out on the field. She's done a lot of work to make tonight happen. So just want to give a shout out to Laura. What's her nickname?
Capi.
Capi.
They call her Capi because she's been a captain in most of the passes she's got. She's a really good leader.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So here we have Seoul on offense. Out of bounds pull from Revo. Yina gets that Robin Fenig matchup again, and Fenig looking deep for Sam Hill. She didn't see Mosquera, and Mosquera peeled off of who she was guarding. Now Claire Chastain with a disc in her hands. Floating around pass. Looking for Yina. Robin Fenig with a near block. Mosquera now. Fenig another bid. Santos trying to hit Yina. Kate Travellini with a fantastic block. She finds Julia Gregory. Sinigini. Only eyes for the end zone. This time looking for Sam Hill again. And it's interesting, so I don't think Mosqueda actually got a hand on that, but what she made Sam Hill do, she created pressure. She came up so quickly, she forced Sam Hill to go up, and I think Sam went up a little early. And so Mosqueda didn't maybe touch the disc, and maybe replay, will say that I'm wrong, but she made Hill go up early. That's what created the turnover. Little things, right? At the beginning of this game, I was talking about the little things that you can do. That's a little thing, closing speed.
Yeah, I totally agree. Now we have Revo on offense, centering to Forero. She gets Chastain open. Just in the half of the field, inside out. Great catch by Manuela Cardenas. Looking to Gina Cartagena. A little give and go. Back to Forero. Looking for Torres. Bobbles it. Oh! She couldn't make it. Was a good intention though. Now, Sol into offense.
Schroeder with a disc. Back to Sinigini. It's turning into a marathon point here. So if they're going to win this game, they really need to be having holds that are a lot cleaner than this. And Revolution now with another opportunity on offense. Torres to Forero.
Now Chastain, back to Torres. She's looking for the break side. She likes going to the break side. Santos with the under. She'll go for Chastain. That's a really characteristic cut from Claire Chastain, just going up line. She's got a great speed. And they're celebrating with Manuela Cardenas.
So fun to watch those two play together. I don't know very much about Santos. What is her background?
She played mixed for a lot of years. She's been playing for quite a good time. She couldn't make it to Jolly JUC, but she was part of the roster. She was a main piece in the roster. And she's been playing with Revo. I think the first time was 2 years ago in under 24 national championships we held here in Medellin. And she's been going like back and forth, but now she's all into Revo. She quitted mixed last year. She's a really good thrower. She's just 18 years old. She's really good.
Yeah, so the reason I asked is because I know she's very young, very impressive. That was a perfect throw that she just put up for Claire Chastain. And I think I remember Santos from last year when I played at TEP last year. Being one of the younger players and being more of a role player, I would say, it's really fun. Just 1 year difference, and look at her, what she's accomplished in a year.
Yeah, great totally.
Yeah, throwing goals for Revolution. Atlanta Soul on offense. Simple miscue there, unfortunate for Megan Reeves. Revo was with an opportunity to break.
Now Revo on offense. Valeria with the frisbee. Arango gets the dump. Opens for Ospina, number 0. She's against the sideline. She looks for the deep. A great catch by Valeria Cardenas. Great catch by Valeria Cardenas. An important break for Revo.
This game is starting to slip out of Atlanta Soul's hands just a little bit here. Let's see what they can muster. They need some efficient offense. They'll likely be looking to Aaron Schroeder. They'll be looking for Robin Fenig. Sam Hill is going to be an important. So is Julia Gregory. Some of them incredible players from Atlanta Soul. You know, I'm not as familiar with the makeup of the Atlanta Soul players. The one thing that I've learned over this weekend is just that the Soul really is a representation of the Atlanta community. So they have players that play on all kinds of different club teams, you know, that compete in the women's division, that also compete in the mixed division of USA Ultimate of the USA Ultimate Series. It's pretty neat to see all these players coming together on one team. And as a fan, you love to see that. And I can only imagine as a player getting the opportunity to probably play with players that you play against, with players that you, maybe play in a different division as you. So it's really fun that they're all together now. Schroeder. Finally, her defender finds her. Sam Hill. Back. Looking for Aaron Schroeder. Unfortunate misconnection there. Revolution back on offense. Bit of a different line here for Revolution. We've got Aleja picking up the disc. Aleja Torres. Maybe we could talk a little bit more about her at the end of this point. Because when you're throwing dimes like that one, you make the commentators talk about you. So tell me a little bit more about Aleja Torres. You know, what's her background? You know, here she's kind of a legend, so it might take a while to talk about.
Yeah, Aleja here in Colombia, she's a legend. She's been playing for 19 years. She started playing when no other woman played, so she played at men's division. She was the only girl, and she ripped it. She was great, and then about like in 2003, she played with the team. In 2004, Mauricio founded Revolution, and I think it was 2006 when Aleja joined Revolution. I'm not sure, but it was about those years. Yeah, Aleja is probably one of the most experienced players. She played for Riot. I think you can tell her.
Yeah, I think Aleja has a special place in my heart. You know, she did travel to Seattle and played with Riot, I believe in 2011 or 2012. Someone on Twitter will have to check me on that. I feel like she's kind of this timeless player for Revolution, and she really does remind me of Dominique Fontanet, who plays for Seattle Riot. You know, Aleja is a handler, and Dom has been mostly a cutter recently, but their energy and the calmness that they bring to the fields, whenever they're on the fields, is something that is palpable, right? Like when you're watching Aleja play and she has the disc in her hands, you know she's going to make a good decision. When you're watching her in the reset space, you know she's going to get open. So she brings that kind of calm energy, so important for a young team like Revolution in the last 10 years to build on. Like, you need somebody like that as a consistent energy on a team. So I love Aleja. Got a shout out, her incredible work.
Agradecimiento, entonces ahí están los comentarios y los relatos en inglés de Simone y Gina. Agradecimiento a toda nuestra audiencia de habla hispana. Gracias por estar ahí conectados. Recordamos los patrocinadores: Spin Ultimate, Layout Ultimate, BC Ultimate y Discraft, disco oficial de esta liga profesional femenina. Volvemos con los relatos del partido entre Revolution y Atlanta Soul.
So Atlanta Soul there with a nice hold. Mosqueda almost getting a block, but Robin Fitz securing the pass and then throwing the assist. Revolution's offense now. Torres with the disc in her hand. Forero.
We have Forero with the frisbee looking for Cartagena. High stall count. Santos with the frisbee. Great put to Cartagena. There's a poach. We can see Chastain getting open in the under. Great backhand throw. So characteristic from Claire. Just a give and go from Forero and Torres. Great goal by Rival Falcons.
I think we haven't talked as much about Claire Chastain. I think part of it is that sort of probably everyone who's watching this knows her name, right? She's a Callahan Award winner. She's played on, the U.S. Women's national team. She's played on the World Games team. She's played on the Beach Worlds team. She's a respected coach in the United States. Maybe we should talk about her some more. It's really wonderful to see her catching so many goals. I don't have the stats for her, but she's had so many assists and so many goals already. And it's so interesting because she's a player that's playing with Revolution for the first time in this Premier Ultimate League. So she hasn't played with these players very much. She's played against them. She's played against them at US Open for the last 2 years. She's played against them at Worlds. But it's another thing to come onto a team and find ways to, contribute to that team. And not only is she contributing, she's, dominating the stat sheet. Sol here on offense. Robin Fenig trying to hit Travellini, with a high release backhand. Montaña with a block. Revolution's D-line on offense. Helton to Mosquera. Rojas.
Now Montaña with the frisbee. We got Rojas. She's with Cardenas, the handlers of this D line. Looking for the up line. Looking for the around to Arango. Good catch. Great inside out. Oh, and a great bit. That was a good intention though. I think the execution wasn't as good as we thought. Evelina Pierce with the block. Number 5 to number 5. Now we'll have Ozone. We got Stovall with the frisbee. There's a call in the field, like a pick call.
It looks like that's actually a foul call,
Oh,
and it's a non-contest. Great usage of hand signals makes it easier for us up here. Again, another call here, just violation. Just means that they weren't ready when the disc was tapped in by the defender. Maybe one more try. And Stovall with a disc. Nice throw to Aaron Schroeder. Finding Fenig. Time's up in the third quarter, but like we said before, the possession continues. And so Sol here just needs to score this one. Fry. Valeria Cardenas giving her a lot of space on the mark. Probably not even 10 yards. She doesn't even need to stall. Fenig, visionary throw, looking for Trisellini. Helton with a massive bid, nearly gets the block, with Travellini securing the goal for Sol, bringing the third quarter to a close. What have you thought so far of these 3 quarters, Simon?
I think, well, first of all, I think it's been great. Now speaking more of like a tactical aspect, I think Revo has made the adjustments they need to really get a good advantage. And yeah, I expect a lot from this fourth quarter. It's gonna be different. I think it will be longer because for this fourth quarter, every stoppage will stop the time, right? So in the first 3 quarters, a call on the field wouldn't stop the time, but now an active call will, an out of bounds will stop whenever the disc is alive. That's when we will get the time running. Yeah, here in Colombia it's almost 10 p.m. It's getting a little bit late, and some of us will have 8 a.m. Games tomorrow. So a little bit of the crowd is just going away, probably.
How many people do you think have been sitting here in the stadium? So I know on the live stream you're seeing you're in the stadium, you're looking at the field, so it's hard for you probably to understand, but the stadium is packed. Pretty much every single seat right here has a body in it. There's a lot of people that have just been standing on the back walls. How many people do you think are here tonight?
I would say 350, 400. About 600.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a very crowded. Yeah, I don't know how many people we can get in this stadium.
And I think one thing that you might be able to see on on the space on the outside, and so there are a number of fans that are sitting next to the coffee shops, enjoying some dinner, enjoying a snack.
This live broadcast of the Premier Ultimate League is brought to you by Span Ultimate. Span Ultimate, providing custom team uniforms and ultimate apparel since 2007. Visit Spin on the web at spinultimate.com.
So, do we have any news on Twitter?
I had one correction. Mike Lawler corrected me. He said Torres played with Wright in 2009 and 2010. So it's 2 years, not one. And it was a little earlier. So my bad. Thank you so much for catching me on that. And again, if you have any questions or comments or information, feel free to tweet at me at QXHNZ and then at Premier Ultimate. Thank you so much. Here we've got Seoul on offense, deep in their own end zone. Stovall, bit of a huck there, looking for her teammate, Katherine Yost. Looks like there is going to be a call on the throw. So it's interesting, we actually haven't had that many chances to talk about these observers that are here tonight, which I think actually is a good thing, because that means that the players on the field are controlling the pace, they're controlling the way that they're playing the game. They're not affected by outside opinions or outside views. One thing that I think probably the observers are helping with is some of the translation, because there could be a language barrier for many of the players. So I know Revolution has players that speak English pretty well, and then others don't speak as well. And I don't think Seoul has many players that speak Spanish, so it's a bit of a language barrier. Gregory there with a disc. It's just Stovall. It's probably like there will be a stoppage of play. Valeria Cardenas got clipped as she was guarding Megan Reeves going up the line. Disc will return to Stovall. Bit of confusion as to where to set up because of the stoppage. Maddie Frey trying to figure it out, listening to many different people on the field that are probably telling her different things.
I think Revo's trying to tell us. I was going to say Ozone. I'm sorry. Yeah. So that number 3 Arango, she stopped because there was a pick call, right? So yeah, the disc just came back to Seoul's offense.
Stovall, this time breaking a big backhand. Looking for Julia Gregory, and Helton with a really nice defensive effort there. Just gets her body in the way and able to go up strong.
Now we have Revo on offense. Flores with the frisbee, looking deep. Good cut by Montaña. There's a call in the
Flores
field.
with the disc, and I think there was a contact call. Stall count is rising, so she needs to make that call or she's going to run out of time. Want to give her a quick shout out. I'm also number 9. Got a special place in my heart for Flores. We traded jerseys last year at TEP. It's really fun to watch her play. And it's a really unique thing I think about the ultimate community is just the friends that you make, not just with your teammates, but with your opponents. And when you go to tournaments, you get to meet new people. It's part of what makes this sport so incredible. I think it's part of what makes people want to come back to the sport for years and years and years and years. I mean, LA has been playing for so long. There's got to be a reason, right? You don't just keep playing for no reason.
Yeah, I totally agree. I've been playing for 8 years and I've got friends all around the world. A a weird throw by Flores, now Mosquera getting closer to the end zone. Rojas bubbling it. She just got it. Great break side throw. Helton looking for the inside option. That's a great put by Kayla Helton. Great put.
Helton is a player from the United States, currently lives in San Diego. She's played with San Francisco Fury. She's a women's a team that competes in the women's division in USA Ultimate Series. She's a player that's played basically all the national teams as well. She's played on the U.S. women's national team in 2016. She's played on multiple beach national teams. She's won multiple national championships in the club division. And I think she's won a college championship as well, but I'm not entirely sure about that one. So maybe don't quote me. But another player that's playing with Revolution who's never played with them before, before this weekend, before this game. So seeing her, ability to connect with Valeria Cardenas in that really small window with a really fast forehand and to hit Valeria Cardenas in the chest to make it so easy for her to catch that disc is really impressive.
Now we got Revon G. The pull is inbounds, not in the end zone. Cartagena is approaching. There's a marking infraction call. She was like here we use meters. Like how many is the yards you need to be away from your from your thrower to marker to.
So I don't want to say the wrong thing because these are Premier Ultimate League rules, and I'm not entirely sure. I believe it would be 10 feet still, which is different than meters.
Yeah, right.
Back to the action. We've got Fry. Crawford just seems like she's open at will. Now finding Travellini. Fenig. Some sort of stoppage here. Unclear, perhaps a pick or a travel. Disc will return to Travellini.
Yeah, I think she didn't slow down. The WFDF rule says you can still throw if you're not changing direction or if you're slowing down. I think
Travellini to Schroeder. Really nice fake from Schroeder. Crawford with an incredible layout. And can't quite keep her hands on it. Looks like there is an injury call. We hope she's okay. Looks like she's just walking off the field, so likely got the wind knocked out of her lungs. We've got Evelina Pierce coming in for the substitution. Looks like that turnover will stand. Seoul has another shot here on offense. Sinagini to go pick up. Been saying her name a lot this evening. Killer lefty handler. She's been playing in Atlanta for many years. Around forehand to Kate Travellini, to Fenig. Hill. Looks like there is a pick call. And The disc will remain with Hill. Maddie Fry. Inside shot. Not sure who that was looking for, but Yina Cartagena with a really nice block finds Claire Chastain.
I think this is Gaby Jimenez. Yeah, she's from República Dominicana. Shout out to those from República who are watching. She played with Revo since 2017. She just moved to Colombia to play with Revo, and she's been doing a great work. She had a ankle injury at PUL. What a catch! That was a great catch by Santos. The girl we were talking about earlier, I'm sorry. A high release flick by Cartagena. Torres looking for the assist. Jimenez, I think there will be a call. There's a pick call. Yeah, she was too close to the other players. Yeah. So the score is 25-17. Revo is up by 8. Yeah, 8. Great catch by Forero. Great catch. I thought that was going to be a D by Trevelani. Sorry, Sinagini. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was close, but Forero got that one. Now the lead is by 9. And yeah, we're getting to the end of the game. So, Sheena, who do you think we should pick as a player of the game?
I feel like you know who I'm gonna say. I think
I agree. I think I agree.
And I don't know, maybe I'm maybe I've zeroed in a little bit too much. Maybe there's a little bit of, I'm getting clouded just because I think the story of Montaña, obviously I'm talking about Montaña. She's number, let's see.
56, 57, 57.
57. I think what draws me to her as a player is more than just what she's contributing tonight on the field. It's the entire progress of her time on Revolution. And, the kind of player that she is, the kind of player that she demonstrates to everybody. As I'm saying this, she was literally the fastest person, the first person down on that pole. But, I would be remiss if we didn't talk about Claire Chastain, who's had so many, assists and goals for Revolution. And then on the Atlanta Soul side, people that come to mind, of course, are Robin Fenig. She's been, unstoppable as a handler. She could throw anywhere on the field. And she's gotten blocks for this team. Atlanta Soul also had some great contributors, including Sam Hill, who I think has been a great receiver for them. As we see Fenig put up a monster forehand to Maddie Fry. Visionary. Fenig was running out of options, but, found a space and knew that Maddie Fry could track that disc down. What about you? Who are some of your... I know I just named 4 people, and we have to choose one, but who are some of your players of the game?
Yeah, honestly, on Revo's side, I would go for Montaña or Chastain. I think they've done a great work. They've done an amazing job. And I think it's remarkable what Robin Fenig has done tonight. I think it's really great, and I would choose her as my player of the game, Robin Fenig, for the Atlanta Soul. But I think we should wait for the last minutes of this fourth quarter and see if some amazing athletic moments came up by.
It's almost too easy to choose Mosquera from Revolution because she's obviously been, literally all over the field, getting blocks, distributing the disc, throwing goals. Yeah, we've got to talk about her too. She's got to be in contention. Revolution on offense.
So Santos with the frisbee, centering to Aleja. Going for the break side to Arcila, number 44. She's out. Arcila, she's also a junior as Arango. She will be in Sweden in summer 2020. Great break side throw by, that's Sinigini again. As you just said, the lefty-handed handlers are a great advantage for a team, especially if you got so much confidence as a team on a player like Sinigini. I think also she's also done a great work distributing passes and giving some confidence to Seoul's offense.
Really important point there from Seoul. That was a break. You know, they're behind a couple of breaks, but I think at this point in the game, as the clock is winding down, they're just finding opportunities to celebrate, you know, each other and moments within the game, and then also to be able to take a step back and realize where you are, not just this place in Medellin, but this time, this moment in time. This is going to be Revolution's only home game of the Premier Ultimate League. So it's a great opportunity for Revolution, of course, but also Seoul gets to be part of this experience for Revolution. They get to be on the showcase field on Saturday night in front of a big crowd, and that's something that they're going to be celebrating throughout this game.
So now Revo in offense, we have Torres with the frisbee. Great inside, that was really close. Borero to Cartagena, to Cardenas. That's a World Games connection. To Chastain, that's a Molly Brand connection. She's out. Oh, I think there's a travel call. Goes for the hammer. Chastain with the goal. Easy goal for Revo. It was really cool to see those give and goes. I just thought about Dylan Frischel. That's his kind of style. And I think it's also a Colombian style, just give and go and quick passes. It was really cool. I think Claire just adapted as well as Mauricio wanted to this Revo squad.
Yeah, a player that comes to mind that's really deadly with give and goes that plays in the women's division is Jessie Schaffner.
Oh, yeah.
So when I see that, I think of Jessie Schaffner. I don't think about Dylan Freechild. This is Women's Ultimate that we're watching here.
True, yeah.
So she's somebody that really comes to mind. Deadly with the give goes, and also the first to realize when she's traveled. You know, and we saw Manuela. She realized that she traveled there. She said, "Okay, hey, you're right. I'm coming back. Sorry." So that's always funny, and always good to see her have a smile on her face, even though there was a call.
Totally.
Seoul on offense here. Another big pull from Revo. Sinigini. Schrader to Fenig. And a nice side stack, which gives Fenig a lot of space to try to hit Travellini. I'm wondering actually if she wasn't able to see the sideline very well, because it's a pretty faint white line. Nonetheless, Revolution here has an offensive opportunity. Cardenas.
That's to Arango. Helton with the undercut. She puts it deep to Mosquera, and just what we said. Great backhand from Kayla Helton. And great Mosquera.
Yeah, you know, I talked a little bit at the beginning of this game about Mosquera not just being a really good target because she's fast and because she's tall, but because of her timing. So one thing that you'll notice is that she started really shallow. She started close to Helton. Helton saw her going deep and was able to deliver a pass to her. And because of Mosquera's timing, she was able to catch it in stride. Makes it a much easier catch for her to make. An incredible receiver. I mean, I know we've talked about her a lot. I guess as we finish out here, there's 2 more minutes left in this game. Okay, who do we choose as our Discraft player of the game?
I think we should go with Revo's Montaña. Yeah?
Yes!
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So the Discraft player of the game will be Jimena Montaña, number 57 from Revolution. Also a great shout out to her contender, number I can't learn it, 49, Robin Fenig. And the Discraft player of the game goes to Jimena Montaña from Medellin's Revolution. Right now we don't get the statistics, but we're sure she got about 3 goals, probably 4 goals. One was a great bit, and yeah, shout out to that great work she does, grinding all the way in the points. That was a quick turn. Now Souls in offense.
Stovall with a disc. High release backhand to Schroeder. Wow. Jamie Estes looking potentially for Evelina Pierce, but gets bailed out from her teammate. The back of the end zone. Katherine Yost, number 30. Really nice shot.
She's so fast. Katherine Yost, I saw her running down a pool. She was amazingly fast. I was really impressed.
Yeah. One thing that's interesting I've noticed is that Revolution is forcing Atlanta Soul backhand. And I think that I'm not sure why they've chosen that, because I've noticed a couple of times that it's been too easy for Seoul to have a high release backhand to the break side. It's enabled them to march the frisbee up the field. Just a couple moments left here in this historical game. Wanted to give a quick shout out. We heard on the stream earlier, Bert Abbott from Strive and Uplift. They're a partner with the Premier Ultimate League, bringing strength and conditioning resources to all the teams because they believe in this league and they believe in building strong athletes, which is what we're seeing on the field today. And if you have any questions about them, want to sign up for their programs, it's incredibly accessible and well-designed content for you to become a stronger athlete. So check out striveanduplift.com.
Great held by Montaña. Good pass to Claire Chastain. Looking deep, and she's got it. Is there a call? It's a goal. We get a goal. Good goal. Good put by Jimena Montaña. Yeah, we're probably in the last minute of game. So I'd like to make a shout out to everyone who's watching this, to every person who helped in any way make this possible. Here from Colombia, from my part, I'm thankful with all the American teams and all the American people who's supporting us watching this in Colombia. It's really special for us. And be sure that whenever these girls go to Atlanta and to rally, it will be a hell of a show. It will be great, yeah. They're ready, they've trained for this, and as Mauricio said in the inaugurational speech, they went to WCC with something beyond getting the championship. They wanted to make Revo a professional team, and that's why they just did. So a great shout out to Mauricio and Aleja and all Revo for making this possible.
Yeah. And to piggyback on that, want to give a shout out to Maddie Fry and Angela Lynn, co-founders and co-owners of the Atlanta Soul. And I know we've said Maddie Fry's name a lot, as she's been a phenomenal contributor on the field, making plays all evening, but also the amount of work that she's put in to make this evening happen, to bring teams together and put the Premier Ultimate League on the map, is worth mentioning 1,000 times over and then 1,000 times again.
Yeah, I agree totally. Good caught by Santos there. Santos looking for Cartagena. That's a great play. That's such a precise throw from Santos. Yeah, that flick of her is amazing, I think. Yeah.
Perfect throw there from Santos. You said it. She saw Nina. I wouldn't say that Cartagena was necessarily open. I would say that Santos threw her open, and she threw it to a spot where Cartagena was the only person that could get it. And it takes an incredible amount of skill. It also takes a lot of strength and precision. So you notice that throw came out very quick, and met Cartagena at exactly the right place in the back of the end zone for a revolution score.
Spin ultimate player again.
Only a couple seconds left here as we hear in the background the final horn goes off. A wonderful grab from Mosquera. And that's the end of the game, folks.
So here in the booth, we just chose the Spin Ultimate Play of the game. So we chose Jimenez Montaña's bit, layout D block. Now the teams are thanking each other. Thank you very much to every person who connected to the Premier Ultimate League opening ceremony and opening match. And thank you very much, Sheena. Thanks for commentating. Thanks for being here with us. And I hope we can get another event whenever we get together here at TEP, or if we can see each other in another tournament.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a great experience to be here with you in the booth, but also to watch this incredible game, part of history. We'll come back and we'll watch this game in the future, and we'll know just how special this moment was, even if right now it feels rushed, and even if right now it's hard to take it all in. So thank you.
Muchísimas gracias a todas las personas de habla hispana que estaban conectadas, que se conectaron con esta transmisión. Somos Desde la Línea. Muchísimas gracias, por supuesto, a nuestro relator y comentarista invitado. Muchísimas gracias, Simón Martínez. Gracias a Sheena Titcomb. Simón Ramírez. Muchísimas gracias. Sheena Titcomb. Saludan los equipos en este momento. Gracias a todos ustedes. Recuerden que esta transmisión ha sido traída a todos ustedes por Spin Ultimate. This live broadcast of the Premier Ultimate League is brought to you by Spin Ultimate. Spin Ultimate providing custom teams, uniforms, and Ultimate apparel since 2007. The Discraft Ultra Star is the official disc of the Premier Ultimate League. Discraft, the world leader in disc sports. Es un placer para nosotros haber traído la apertura de esta liga profesional. Nos despedimos con el baile de Revolution, que acaba de ganar su juego 30-20 a Atlanta Soul. De verdad que gracias a todos ustedes. Ha sido un placer, nos despedimos. Este equipo de trabajo, en la cámara Luna Andrade, en el máster Nino Chancle, en el sonido Juan Moreno Plaza, quien les habla Pedro Espina. Estamos felices de haber partido la historia junto a ustedes, de haberla vivido juntos Recuerden, registro totalmente gratis en nuestra página web www.desdelalinea.com. www.desdelalinea.com. Muchísimas gracias a todos. Nos encontramos en una próxima ocasión.